Oh,
Hey, this is Sammy Loco podcast number 91. I am your host, Sammy Loco. I'm here with, go and introduce yourself.
this is Drizzy Dre. Follow me on IG, two underscores, fuck cancer. Two times, it's two underscores, PHUCCANCER, two times. That's my IG and my Facebook.
All right. So tell everybody about yourself, where you from, obviously, and everything like that, your childhood and things of that nature.
Well, I'm from Park Heights, Shirley, 2400 block. In and out, foster care. I grew up mainly on the west side. I'm a phlebotomist. I'm working towards some other goals. And I believe in just keeping your head up and being resilient with life.
All right. So we're going to talk about a couple of topics that we had. We want to talk about pretty much an enlightenment episode, thoughtful episode. So I'm gonna bring up one question that you had. What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago? So I'm gonna let you start off with that.
All right, Sammy. Well, thanks for having me again. It's an honor. You done had some progress since the last time we was on the show. 5 years ago, I was going to school for my EMT. And I wish I was able to lock down and be a bit more resilient then than I am now. And I just wish I would have been able to keep going through that EMT into my paramedic thing.
All right. For me, it'll probably be if I want to do two things, I'll use it for this podcast. Took mad breaks here and there, no consistency really. Was going good for like a good year. Shout out to Not Schrader. Um, Went in and out with certain things. So that's that with the podcast. As far as real life situation, family, not my mother and father, of course, but extended family. You know, after a while, this person saying this about that person, this person. And then, for me, I'm an introvert, so it's just I wanted to stay away from certain people, stay away from certain family members because, it's just one of those things where you just got to stay away
Mm,
because you need your peace, you need your energy to be intact. And if anybody know anything about being an introvert, you don't want to be around certain dramas. People drain you, and
mm,
you gotta look at your body and your mind frame as like your phone battery, pretty much. So you start off with 100% every day, but then you go to work, that might drain like 20% your battery.
mm.
Then you got, your shits and giggles. That might take out 5%. It might gain. You might recharge off of that too. You got a ride, you got the ride coming from work. That might drain you also. And then you might come home to some family shit or a family member call you for some money you don't have, and then, whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
working on those relationships 5 years ago to compared to now, I wish I can, turn back and say, okay, let me talk to my aunt more often. Let me talk
Mm,
to my cousins, and my cousins having kids. I don't even know who they are and stuff like that because, I'm so in my own world, that type of thing. Yeah, anybody can say right now, let's regain the relationship, but I don't know how the relationship is because each relationship has severed, or I don't know where it's at this point. So you have that type of situation, but though that's probably two things that I say 5 years ago I wish I spent more time on, honestly.
it's good. That's good. The reflection. That's it.
Yeah, hindsight type shit. Yeah, so that's that. The second one you was talking about was who do you sometimes compare yourself to?
Not sure if everybody is familiar with the movie Antoine Fisher. You know,
Okay, yeah, old
he
school film.
stayed, yeah, he stayed with family. I believe he went through foster care, but he needed that father figure. He needed that father figure, really, from Denzel. I didn't have that father figure from my biological father. But when I would watch that movie when I was younger, a lot of the events, I think he went into the Navy. Was it the Navy that he went into? I think. Was
Yeah,
it
it had to be the Navy. It wasn't all. I don't think it was the Army. No, I think it
yeah, I
was the
think it
Navy.
was yeah. Besides that, a lot of the events that he went through, like losing his best friend, I experienced that, as well as just being around people who are shiesty, when they're around some people, it's just like, oh, we're giving this, we're giving you love and tender care because I'm in foster care, but then, behind closed doors, when these people are gone, like you really see who these people are. And when you try to, voice it, when you're at your adolescence, you're in your adolescent years, it's kind of difficult to really understand what you're going through because one, you have your hormones, puberty, and then you don't really know how to break things down verbally as well. So sometimes you act out of anger. I used to fight a lot. I didn't always want to fight, but that was one thing that he would do. Like I remember he was fighting some Caucasian dude because he said something in a movie. I remember fighting people just because they said something to me. But that's why I really wasn't resilient at certain points of my life, especially during my adolescence and high school years. And I could watch this movie today or tomorrow and really look back and see the output that the things that he went through, but it helped him actually become a man. And a lot of the things that I went through, pretty much everything, helped me become a man. I can compare myself to him.
Wow. For me, I would compare. It was certain parts for me. Growing up, probably from, let's say, 15, my high school years. Let's put high school years. I would compare myself to artists, like one artist, maybe two artists, from 10th grade up to 12th grade, probably. It would be 50 Cent. Reason being, because in middle school, I used to get picked on a lot because I was skinny as hell. So listening to his music, going to school, it'll create that focus. Like, okay, I'm either prey or predator.
Okay, I see
So
that comparison.
it was one of those things where, okay, I'll just start being quiet. Then I start really paying attention to 50 Cent's interviews where he'll break down certain things. And even though 50 is pretty much a bully, in my opinion, because they know he has the hands. So after a while, it's like, okay, I was in that certain predicament. But then as I shift towards 11th grade, 12th grade, I was shifting more to Lloyd Banks, which made me listen to his music more because he was the quiet soldier of the group.
I
Very,
like Banks. I like Banks. I get
yeah.
it.
But I started paying attention to how he was operating. Like he was very observant. He would pay attention to the whole room. He wouldn't talk much. That was me. People thought I was most likely to show up to school, pretty much. Because they're like, yo, that nigga don't say nothing. And I still get that now at work, but I talk to selective people and stuff like that. But I would
Shout
say
out
that.
Uncle Luke.
No. Uncle Luke I talk to now. But as I got out of high school, it was this time period where it was just like a sunken place type thing because you had the high school sweetheart, she dump you, you finally get her, then she dump you, and then you got somebody like Drake that you parallel to, Mac Miller, that type of thing. But then after a while, I start realizing you can't compare yourself to an artist. You like an artist because you compare yourself to their story, their background. So then you also got to remember, you got to separate the musician from the person, because the musician is just out there to sell you stories, just like an author. Author might make up a book and it's nothing to do with their real life. Might have a little element of it, but it is what it is with that. So fast forward and let's get to, now the people that I compare myself to is my parents. Now, everybody knows my father is crazy as hell. He's crazy. Um, Talk about from Cherry Hill, I'm from Park Heights, whatever the case may be. I see what he did now growing up. Back then, I didn't appreciate it because I would see that my mother would give me anything I wanted as far as materialistic things. My father gave materialistic things, but things that I'd be like, oh, you're supposed to do that. No, they're not supposed to. By law, they're just supposed to feed you and have shelter. So him buying me a bed, him,
Mm.
cooking every night. Remind you, he's a chef. So it's just like, all right, imagine you doing something all day for 8 hours plus, coming home and have to do more cooking. And it's your time to cook. So I took I look at that and say, okay, that was a sacrifice because I see how other people grew up like you and others. Y'all didn't have that coming home. Y'all didn't have your father coming home, at least attempting to help you with your homework because he was the type that would sit there and say, you'll give him math questions and he'll start questioning you. And you like, bruh, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So we both there sitting there looking stupid. I want to go outside. So at the end of the day, we both fucked up. So that's that. And then with my mom, I'll see how she treated other people because my father wasn't really the people person. My mother was the people person. My mother would talk to anybody. We're being line, and she'll just sit there and start talking to random people. Yeah, it's a nice day today, and all that. I have my father temperament when it comes to that. I'm not talking to everybody. I don't want to talk to everybody. So I see how she did other things for other people in the family and other people that she didn't have to help out getting groceries and stuff. Hey, take this up there stairs to Miss whoever, Miss Shirley, whoever. And I'm like, I don't even know this person. Like, why do I gotta take this food to her? Why I gotta do that? And no, you gotta learn how to do things for other people. You get your blessings. I don't give a fuck about no blessings, man. I want to go home. So seeing her do that for other people, even though at the end of the day she would get backstabbed by these people, but at least she did her part to help these people out. So me comparing myself to somebody right now, I would say my parents need to call them more while I doubt because they're getting older. But like I said, I'd be in my own world. So for me, that would be somebody I would compare myself or people I would compare myself to.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
It's a question that you put up also. Do you ask enough questions or do you settle for what you know? So I'm gonna let you go with that one.
I think I ask enough questions. I hate to say but sometimes I do that. I think I ask enough questions because a lot of the rules, principles, and morals I learned from my grandmother. Even though I was in foster care, my grandmother was still there. And as I got older, and I went through the group homes of being locked up and here and there, I saw what my grandmother would tell me. And I would ask her, like, well, why you say this about this person? Say, look, just wait and see. Listen, my grandmother, number one thing, I love my grandmother. That's my heart. She's doing well right now. She said, listen to what they say, but watch what they do. And I'm at a young age, and I'll be like, what you mean by that? You crazy. What you mean? Like, no, when I'm around them, it seems like it's all love. But as I got older, actually older and opened my eyes to really seeing the reality of things. Like, Jamie, you can't just keep living like you don't see these things because at the end of the day, your grandmother done told you this. Now, if you want to believe it, you can. If you don't want to, you can. The decision is yours. But a lot of times when she would tell me something, it's like, I questioned her about it when I was younger. Now I don't have to. But she would be like, just watch what they say, listen to what they say, and watch what they do. And then ever since that, I never really had to ask too many questions anymore. Now the questions that I ask are like everyday life, like what about these stocks? Like, I talk to you about stocks or any new jobs out here in the medical field for my phlebotomy or stuff like that. But now I think I still ask a fair amount of questions that I'm supposed to, but a lot of stuff is instilled in me, so I already know. I don't want to make it seem like I know it all, but I
Mm.
do know a lot about a little bit. If that makes sense to you.
It does. Um, for me, I kind of I don't ask a lot of questions. That's why I doubt, but I do settle for what I know.
Mm,
Um, because for me, the questions I ask, I just search for them. I don't ask people questions really, unless it's something of the effect of you have to be more wiser. And wiser don't mean age for me, because somebody might be younger than me. Like, as people might find this funny, my nephew knows a lot more stuff than I did at his age. And some things that he say, it shocks me because I'm like, at that age, I didn't care about nothing. I don't remember this and that. But as far as him being observant about certain things, like, oh, Uncle Sammy, you be limping when you run right here, or whatever the case may be, or little stuff that
mm-hmm.
I won't really say, but
I
the
get you.
stuff that the stuff that I settle for is stuff that I know is proven to be right. And people
Mm,
might take that as being a know-it-all also. But if I see certain things about people, and I'm the type that probably will say it to them. But if I see that, for example, uh you're not seeing where you're wrong at in a situation and stuff like that, and I'm constantly telling you, oh, you're on some cocky stuff. You need to humble yourself. Reason being, because I know back then I was cocky.
mm-hmm.
I only got humble because life pretty much showed me like, oh, you need to sit your ass down. So,
Mm.
and life does that to you. Life does
Yeah.
that to you. And some people don't know the error of their ways. And some people don't know how to take accountability for stuff. So, for instance, as you said about me with the other podcast, I'm not going to say nobody's name, but that situation with me showing body posture when somebody's talking, that just showed that I'm annoyed with that person. I
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that until other people tell me that. As far as, some people say, oh, you don't have good eye contact. That's true. But if you piss me off, I'm gonna have straight eye contact with you.
Yeah, that go hand in hand right there.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying with that. Yeah, you know, I settle for, like, I need to ask more questions, but since we're in this time of age, I'm the type of person that I have to research something random every day to get, like, okay, to get knowledge off of it. That way, I feel like if somebody asks me that question, I have an answer for it. That's what my mom did for me, because certain things I'm like, how do you know this? And she said, I just know. And
Mm.
most people will say, oh, that's just her being a mother, that's her being a parent, this and that. Some parents just don't know shit and don't want to know shit. So so the kid might
Call it
come and say,
spade a spade, man.
but some parents don't, just like that parents go to with certain things is like, oh, it's the rapper's fault these kids are doing it. No, it's your fault, because when they come home, you just give them a game, an iPad, whatever the case may be. You're not teaching them nothing. And it's crazy because it's like, okay, you can blame a celebrity for your kids thing because they say, oh, they idolize them. No, motherfucker, they supposed to idolize you and then them. But just like me, that's pretty much me being hypocritical, because I didn't care about what my father was telling me. Oh, you need to save your money. I didn't care about saving no money. I'm getting them LeBrons, I'm getting them Jordans, I'm getting that game, I'm getting all that stuff. But then when you get older, you're like, damn, I should save my money. This and that. My father gave me his
Oh,
car when he got his new car. He gave me his car. He said, all you gotta do is just put some tires on it, clean it up, get the interior fixed. I didn't give a fuck about that car. The car sat there until all of a sudden I needed a car and I start working downtown. I'm like, shit. And I thought like, I'm about to impound this shit. I'm like, go ahead, impound that shit. I don't care. I'll take the bus. But then summertime come around, you sitting there in the hot sun waiting for the bus. You're like, God damn, that's hot as shit. Hey dad, can you drive me to work? Fuck no. Have a nice day. And then I'm sitting there like, damn, why you do that for? Well, I gave you a car, you didn't want it. All you had to do is fix the
Yeah,
tires up, fix a little engine here and there. You living at the house rent free. But once again, that comes to
yeah.
saving money, and that's what happened. So
And like you say, one of the things I had to learn is experience is the best teacher.
yeah.
You can, and I really like, because I just had a conversation with a friend of mine about her daughter about certain things. And I said, I'm not calling you a bad mother, but as a parent, you gotta be you set that standard right there.
Mhm.
You put that in effect. And when you're firm about it, yeah, they can still be a child, but children are manipulators. They manipulate you if you let them. So you gotta be firm with a lot of stuff. So yeah, I get it. Experience be the best teacher though. We all learning and we all will learn until that line go flat. We all still be learning.
That's the biggest teacher. Yeah. Some people gotta learn from pain also. So sometimes the pain comes with the experience, but sometimes people just want to go through the experience, and the experience might be good. The experience don't have to be bad. And it's good pain, it's bad pain also. Like, just like life, good like a child being born, guess what? Somebody died that day too. So
Uh,
that's just that. Going with the other question you have who do you love and what are you doing it? What are you doing about it? Like
you know what?
explain that to me
Yeah.
though.
When we talked, I believe it was Friday when we set this whole meeting up. We were supposed to talk about the preliminary meeting. And you that was one of your questions. You said, I don't know, what you mean by that. What I mean by that is, you have a wife, you'll love your wife. And it's just like, what are you doing to actually not to actually make sure that your wife feels love, and what steps are you taking to show her that you love her even more? Me, I'm gonna transition it into my grandmother. Again, I love my grandmother. Whenever my grandmother calls me, if she needs some help, I'm there. Sometimes she doesn't even have to ask for help. I could just pop up, hey, grandma, man, what you doing here, boy? She be in the bed watching Judge Judy or something like that. What you doing here? You just popping up, like those are the things that I do. That's what I mean as far as doing to show that you really love a person. But sometimes it's just random acts, really, not just doing exactly what they want you to do, basically.
Okay. Um, for me, I'm gonna put it this way. I do it for my family. Uh, but yeah, name for my wife. But the thing about that, I'm trying to do things that I love first, because
Okay.
the thing is that we all get to this point, at least with me, that
Mm-hmm.
you do stuff for everybody else and make everybody else happy. And you're doing things for them, and you're not making yourself happy at the end of the day. So let's say it was a point where I wanted to do 3 jobs. And that's when, you know, my wife was pregnant. So I was like, oh,
Okay.
you go into instant man mode.
Mm.
Not know, oh well, she be all right, she carrying it. We know niggas like that. So I wanted to be the provider. I want you to stay home, don't do shit, blah, blah, blah. At the time, my thumb was broke. So it's like once again, that's a life lesson. Car got smashed up by some drunk drivers, stuff like that. So the whole world is caving in. So that makes you understand, like, okay, you know, all this stuff is happening. So at the end of the day, you're trying to love yourself too, but you also trying to make sure that everybody else is happy. Make sure she's happy, make sure she ain't got no pain, this and that. And then you're doing other things for other people, like, oh, okay, yo, I got you, I'll pick you up, this and that, all that. And you the whole time you're not trying to make sure you good, you're straight. And just like I say about everybody else, everybody needs somebody to vent to.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that person, you're gonna go into other ways of coping. That's another topic going down the line here and there. But for me,
That's a good one right there.
for me right now, I'm going to be selfish and say, and it's good to be selfish sometimes. I'm trying to do it for myself. I'm loving myself, but I also love my wife, family, all that stuff. But that's the most important thing right now, is to try to make sure I'm loving myself and I'm taking care of myself. Now, yeah, yes, did I let myself go? Yes, do I emotionally eat? Yeah, I do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a constant process. It's not going to happen here and there. Once again, I'm drinking this bullshit too, but
I couldn't even see what that was. What was that?
yeah,
A
yeah,
Red
yeah.
Bull?
Well, it's not. It's Bang.
What
Bang.
is that?
Yeah, it's an energy drink.
Bang!
Yeah. That's what it does. But yeah, you gotta learn how to love yourself. And I tell people that all the time. Now, do I do it all the time? No. But when I get paid, I treat myself here and there. But that's only here and there. But everybody has to do that. Another question you had, which I thought was very good. You had if you had to teach something, what would you teach?
This was the one. I think this probably was my favorite one.
Mm.
I would teach resiliency.
Okay.
I would teach that because anybody who knows me knows that before the late great Nipsey Hussle was assassinated. That was my favorite rapper, and I really draw to his message through his music about the marathon continuing with life. And I feel like you had to be resilient in order to know that the marathon will continue. Because as you said, it will be a lot of good days, it'll be a lot of bad days. Like you said, every day that somebody's born, unfortunately, the great ordeal happens that somebody's taken away from earth physically, but that soul will live on. That's just my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would teach resiliency because where I came from, I ain't had shit, My grandmother would tell you, I came from the basement, really. Everything that I have now is through myself and God. And I thank people who helped me get here, especially the ones that hurt me and the ones that didn't hurt me, because there's blessings in between both of those as well. But resiliency would just be the number one thing that I would teach because Tupac made that song Keep Your Head Up for a reason. You have to keep your head up. Especially us black men, we gotta keep both our heads up. We already a target. We gotta provide for ourselves if we have a family. Resiliency would be the number one thing that I would teach.
Okay. For me, it'll be I can't even say this word right. Philosophy. Let me put it that way. I said it right.
Philosophy.
Yeah. Okay. Only reason being because I guess I'll say pretty much cocking. I can't really think of that way, but
I'm trying to figure out that word that you're trying to say.
I know. Pretty much being cocky about it. I would say that I'm a good person to give advice to. Give advice out. Sorry.
Okay.
With that, I'm a good listener, but also it comes with that. It'll have to be telling people where they should fix up things at. Just like I was talking about before, telling people about accountability, and knowing when you're wrong, and also learning how to change. I think a lot of people don't want to change their ways. You're not going to completely change your ways because as you get older, you're just going to stick to the way you go. you're not going to change your ways all the way. Just like, for instance, and hopefully I don't get banned off YouTube for saying this, but back in the day, you would not. I used to look at people that was gay and just like, y'all niggas weird. Y'all niggas weird.
All right.
Now, and now it's just like, if they want to do all that, that's their business. But I have people that I work with that are gay and bisexual and all that, and we make the best jokes with each other. I can joke with them. But back then, you wouldn't see me next to them. Oh, yo, you that? All right, get away from me. Stiff
Move
on,
around, nigga. Move around.
Yeah. So now I'm starting. Now at an older age, I'm looking at it like, okay, that's dumb. At the end of the day. Now, as far as people saying shit that don't make sense to me, yeah, I still don't get that, and I'm not trying to understand that. And certain people ways of thinking and ways they view things, like I don't get into the Democrat Republican thing, but some people, as I think about it, some Republican ways are best, and some of the ways that Democrats think are the best. But guess what? I don't vote. And some people look at me like, oh, you don't vote? Why you don't vote? I just don't. That's not my sport. That's everybody else's sport. That's not my sport. So certain people will just be like, I guess like that. Getting back on topic, I that would be pretty much a course that I would love to teach. And I would do it for free, because I did have a great teacher in high school, Mr. Burnlin, who really pretty much taught, the way of just paying attention to your surroundings, because everybody is not thinking the same, everybody's not doing the same thing. And he just pretty much used the classroom. Classroom was what, 16 people, maybe 30 people sometimes. And he said everybody here got different personalities, and everybody's not going to think the same way, because everybody grew up different. Some people had coming out the womb with, money in their pockets, looking good. Some people like me growing up had to go to a thrift store on Belvedere Avenue and get all the clothes out of there. And then that's, you go there to get your back to school clothes, and you just say, hey, I get that. Then, you move out to the county, and your parents are trying to do better for you. And you got different clothes now. You got, all those things. It's just evolution, I guess, with that. But yeah, with teaching, that would be definitely one for sure.
I think that would be a good one for you. I think so.
The next question you had is, when it's all said and done, will you have said more than you done? That you're done. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
I believe I will. I know I talk more. I'm always talk more than what I do, because like I'm talking right now to you, I'm not really doing too much. You feel me? I'm just having a conversation. But yeah, I feel strong confidence. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure everything that I'm going after, I'm gonna get. I'm pretty sure I will.
Okay. For me, unfortunately, I probably will talk more than I will do. And that's just being me being human. But yeah, I think me talking more and showing people my mistakes, I guess you would say that's more doing, if you want to look at it that way, because I am being a vessel. I'm pretty much being the vessel, and just saying, watch out for that. Now, whether they take it or not, because advice is just like money, you either gonna take it or you're not. But at the end of the day, I'll switch that up. Yeah, I'll probably be doing more than I say, because I can say next year I'm gonna find a better job. Now, I might motivate somebody else to get a better job or do better for themselves. And me not knowing that, me saying that, or me just going to work every day, or me just telling the person, yo, one day you're going to get this, one day you're going to get that, just speak into existence. That's me helping. That's me doing. I can't be that type of person that just roll around and say, oh, well, nigga, figure it out. No, because unfortunately, we have OGs that didn't do that for, my generation and your generation and the generation before. They're not doing that. They just saying, well, you got to figure out like I did. No, you need to make sure you get past the roadblocks and don't be chastising these young kids, because at the end of the day,
that's a good word. That's a
you
good
was
word.
you was fucking up.
Yeah.
We have I know plain situations, while naming people names, where growing up they were selling drugs. Now the person below them is selling drugs, and they're trying to tell them, man, why are you selling drugs? Isn't that, you know why they selling drugs? Because they seen you do it. They see the fast money into it. And at the end of the day, as you did maturing, you should show them like, look, this is how you're supposed to get out of it, transition out of it, because this was what happened to you. So you got paths that you have to take. Now, when you're chastising them, saying, look, you need to stop that. No, you need to show them, this is how you do it. This is how I did it. And, you take them step by step. You don't show them the finished product, because the finished product is you saying, oh, I got a nice paying job. No, you got to show them like, yo, cut this out slowly, cut this out, focus on this, whatever the case may be in this relationship. And after a while, people will get it. I think Muda said that on the last podcast, where he's like, he slowly transitioned out of that, where he started realizing he got tired of going to jail.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Muda. Yeah.
He got tired of doing all this stuff. And then eventually people are going to say, oh man, well, he a working ass nigga. Okay, he a working ass nigga. But guess what? He might be getting less money than he did on the streets. But guess what? He's staying out of trouble. He's not going to jail. Oh, let me pick up this craft. Like for him, he started, doing chefing and, rapping for his hobby. And he just stays home.
Yeah.
And for some people, even people going to the club at 40 years old, that's some people look at it as a getaway. Some people look at it as, oh, you ain't learned yet, because you out here still trying to do the same shit you was doing at 20 years old. And then you still saying that same shit you were saying at 20 years old, saying niggas ain't shit. Oh, these bitches ain't shit. Nigga, you're 40.
Yeah.
You gotta pee. You can't stay up too late. Oh, I gotta get up early in the morning for work, that type of thing, and your body aching. So, all those things play a factor. Yeah, you gotta pee. You can't sit there. You can't sit there and you talking to somebody, and then they're saying, oh, you trying to get their number, and you trying to wine and dine, and then you 40 and you just sitting there like, look, we're gonna go out on a date, but we gotta go at 6 because
oh, because
6:00, they got some good deals. Like we can do a lunch date, but I can't do a dinner. And then they, as I will believe, as a 40-year-old man or woman, you ain't gonna go to the same spot you went at 20, because you're gonna be like, nigga, I ain't trying to do that. Like what I look like. So, you can take them to Cheesecake Factory. You can take them there, but you can't take them to Uno's. You can't take them to Chick-fil-A and say, let's walk around the lake and shit. Motherfuckers ain't trying to do that shit. Let's go to the aquarium. Yeah. Niggas ain't trying to do that shit.
Oh man.
Couple of topics that I have is dealing with current events. We know about the police shooting and the George Floyd case, which is very exhausting for Black people. Right now, they're talking about the police officer that shot the 15-year-old, 16-year-old. I don't know precisely her age, but uh, tell me what you think about that situation.
But with the, I believe she was, I think she was 16. Yeah, I think she
Okay,
was 16.
still too
Um,
young.
yeah, I believe that with this, the way the police officers trained is they really see black skin as a threat. Now, it's been many events where you've seen Caucasians. I'm not racist at all. I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. I'm entitled to my own opinion. But it's been many occasions that I've seen Caucasians, wave knives or have about 10, 12 guns, have standouts, excuse me, with the police for hours just to be walked outside or after they killed individuals walked outside handcuffed for giving water or taking the Burger King, actually being fed. But
Mhm.
when it comes to the African American, especially for us males, you know nah, it's shoot them, take them out, take them out. We see them as a threat. And I really feel like the racism is actually taught behavior. I believe that you have to teach a child to hate somebody else. A child, they look so innocent and precious when they come in the world because they really are. But the things that they are molded into and actually start to absorb as far as energy, like we were talking about a few topics ago, I actually think all that really plays a factor in it. And I really think they're really out to kill African Americans. I really do, especially males. And it's sad to say because that George Floyd trial is just like, that wasn't the first time he did that. I believe it was another instance that they said he did it for, was it
Did so at
17 minutes, something like that. Was it
hmm
13 or something like that? But
also shot
this,
also shot somebody else too.
I don't think I saw that one. But about the other incident about the 13 or 17 minutes.
Hmm.
I feel as though that the body cameras are trash. Now, not all cops are bad, no, but they live by that, protect the shield. Like, like you're my blue brother. And if it's like if they want to do something, they're gonna do it. And especially if they got occasion, they're gonna get away with it. Now I'm glad that this guy got justice, but the one thing that bothers me about that, I just hate for one, I understand they have to go through trial and all that, but I also hate how a lot of these things turn out where you have the families just accept this lump sum of money
Yep.
just to sweep it under the rug. And I was just talking to my godmother about that when the trial actually first started. She asked me that question, and I said, majority of the time they just all in with the African Americans taking the money, and you really don't hear nothing about them until maybe a few months or a year or two later, and that's it. That's not justice. You got to keep fighting for it.
Yep.
But a lot of people just don't. They don't. You can't replace a person once they taken away. That grief is something that it's hard to get over. I feel like cops are really out to kill African Americans, whether it be a male or a female. Now that video, to get back on topic, my apologies if I went off topic. That video, she had a knife, but they were saying that she was getting jumped
Yep.
by a group of girls. And then also during the video recording, again, I'll say I think those body cameras are trash because you can, just like on YouTube and how you edit your videos, they can
Mm.
go in there and just edit something,
Yep.
take it
Yep.
right out. Yeah, this never happened. Well, wait, was this at this time? They can delete this and then transfer this file and put it right. Yeah, well, he was right here. This didn't happen. And they said the police officer never even announced itself. that he was a police officer when he arrived to the scene. He
Mm-hmm.
was in fault for that. Also, I think Charlemagne said he could have actually shot her maybe in the leg or, maybe the arm or something like that just to get the knife out of her hand. She never charged at him. Her back was to him.
Mm-hmm.
She was facing the other girl with the knife in her hand. He didn't have to kill her. I just think that they really are out to kill African Americans. They want to eliminate us. That's how I feel about it.
I think so also, but the thing I just don't like about our people is that we are reactionary to everything that happens on the news, social media. I put up the video on Facebook, and I just put facts.
Okay.
They talked about the girl had the knife in her hand. Number one. Number two, the guy should have not shot 4 times. These are all facts.
That's facts.
But when we have black on black crime, and this is where everybody goes at me, nobody talks about, okay, y'all don't want to talk about that shit, but y'all want to talk about the police. Then it's talk about fuck the police. Okay. Sure. A lot of police officers are fucked up. But you can't tell me those people that say fuck the police, man, we don't need a police, this and that. If somebody break inside your house right now, and based on Maryland law, I'm not talking about Florida and all that stuff. Somebody break inside your house right now. You got a gun. You got a gun to protect your house. You cannot shoot that guy running out your house in the back, or I think any artery or anything like that. You can't shoot him anywhere like that. Now, if you shoot him in the front, I think you can get away with that. I am not no law expert or nothing. I've been fucking up all day with these shits in quotes. But the thing is that people don't want to look at where we was wrong at. Now, people say, "Oh, don't resist." It's been tons of time. George Floyd was not. He wasn't resistant at all. He was just sitting there like, "Yo, what did I do, officer? What did I do?" You can go to I forgot the other people's name. Like these guys, these people.
Malcolm Brown, the guy that was selling the cigarettes.
So yeah, that guy.
He wasn't resisting.
No, and they took what, 4 people to take him down? 5. Yeah. Now he was a big guy, but this is fucking cigarettes.
Right. And they say he was a asthmatic. No, like that. He might. Yeah, I think he might have been. They say he was a norm. Like he normally did that. He was known around there for doing it. He was a regular.
Exactly. And how many people we know downstairs? Loose ones. That's cause for you to kill somebody. So that's what I'm saying with that. Now, the police in this case is going to go by the letter of the law and say she was about to attack somebody else with a knife. So the main thing they're going to say is that we're here to serve and protect. Now, if you would shot her in the leg, it's no guarantee that she wouldn't still swing the knife at the person, because once you got a whole bunch of adrenaline in your body, it's like, I have seen tons of times, even though some people might be on some shit, where you can tase somebody to death. Now, I think the taser, it only have a certain amount of range on it. And if you're a bigger person, you're gonna need at least a couple shocks of volts to go through your body. It ain't gonna be one shock of volt. You're gonna need that heavy duty trigger on that taser. Now, this, like, shooting the girl 4 times, no. Like he aimed straight for the back, and just imagine, like, okay, she called them. We got that. But at the end of the day, if I'm getting jumped, yeah, I'm going to pick up something. Like somebody, like, I'm not going to let you just beat me to death. And the police ain't getting here quick enough. I need somebody here to protect me. Now, I don't know if they was in front of a house. I don't know none of that details. But the facts remain, she had a knife. She was about to stab the girl. whether it's justified or not, the police show up, they don't ask no questions in our situation. So yeah, he was wrong for that. Now saying blue lives matter in that situation, that he needed to be terminated for that. That's what he's wrong at. But as far as protecting his ass, as far as what they're going to do in court, because I can already see it already, I was just protecting the girl. Now, if he was protecting the girl, you still shouldn't have shot 4 times. That's kind of reckless to me, because the other girl could have got shot too. Now, whether he has good aim or not, because they say he was in the army or some shit, or he was a sniper, whatever the case may be. Like, yeah. And then y'all didn't send the ambulance, or y'all didn't do CPR or none of that stuff. That's what you're wrong at. So
and then the cops they're trained to do CPR. That's the crazy thing. Like,
so that's
what I just wanted
no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
He's trained for that shit. I've been on the ambulance around cops. I'm in the EMT. I've seen it. Like, there's no way these people like. No, it's just but
that's what I'm saying. That all these things I just said and which you just said are facts. Now, whether we like the facts or not, those are facts. So, yes, number one, he's wrong for shooting 4 times. Yes, he could have used his taser, but this thing would never came into our eyes if she would have stabbed the girl. It would just go breeze right over. The police showed up, and he used a taser. Let's say he used a taser. The girl gets stabbed or not stabbed. This wouldn't be on the media. This wouldn't be on the news. So the thing is, the news, the media is the main problem for me. Now, it can be a good problem and a bad problem. The good problem is that it's shedding a light on police brutality. But in the same sense, they know that Black people are going to outrage. It's like they did this purposely, because this happened right before we got the verdict for the George Floyd case. Then all of a sudden it's like a recycle of shit. Recycle. Okay.
Right. I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
They know that we're going to react because we're emotional beings. We're tired of seeing this shit on the news. Back in the day, we didn't see this shit. And I'm exposing my age, but back in the 90s, we didn't see none of this shit. Now they're going to say, oh, well, y'all didn't have cell phones back then. True. But at the same time, it's like, now we're seeing the guns go off on Black people. So
and the recall.
Yeah.
Saying that.
And then I look on the news and I'll see a white guy literally get out his car and shoot an officer dead. Then that also get circulated in there. So you got the people that are police lovers and white people saying, oh, well, this is why the police gotta shoot first, because they gotta go home to their kids. True, you're absolutely right. But what about the people like Freddie Gray, like just whatever he's doing, selling drugs, whatever the case may be? Do he deserve to be in the paddy wagon and y'all doing stops on purpose and y'all fucking us up in the back seat, crack his neck, crack his vertebrae, whatever the case may be, and y'all wonder why we riot? So I mean,
I don't like that. I didn't like how our people went about that. But I think the frustration, we deal with a lot. I didn't like that though, because at the end, it was we were still gonna pay for that eventually. Where they were gonna raise our taxes, or people without jobs were without jobs because of that. And just like you said, us being emotional human beings, we impulsive sometimes. I think they were impulsive at that moment. That's what I think. I just think that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that. But switching gears, DMX passed away. I have heard or have seen a lot of people put up a lot of stuff and conspiracies with that. One conspiracy that I seen first was that, that he took the COVID vaccine and he died because of that. And, they said that's how everything happened. Okay. We don't know the cause for that yet because of the toxic report.
Toxicology report. Mhm.
There you go. That didn't come out yet. That takes what, about 4 weeks, right? After death or
I'm not sure. I like to speak facts. I don't know. I'm
okay.
not sure about how long that takes.
Okay. So like I said, that will come out soon. The autopsy was talking about like fentanyl, which takes out a lot of rappers. Irv Gotti disgustingly talked about how he died and what was in his system and stuff. And that's another case situation that I still
Yeah.
just I don't know if he was at the funeral, but I don't think he should be. I don't think people should ask him any more questions. And I'm the type of person that would like the family to talk about it first. But it is what it is with that. How you feel about that situation?
I agree with you 100% as far as the family being able to expose that to the media, even though, you said him and Irv Gotti were close. It's all about, with that, it's all about staying in your lane. Now, I think it might not be, I think if the family didn't say nothing for a while, after the burial and everything, and then he came out with it, it might have not been so much media attention, shall I say, towards it. But regardless, right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't think he should have said that out of his mouth, whether if it was facts or not. I think he should have just kept that to himself. He might have been chasing clout. I don't know, but I think he should have just kept it to it. That's just something that, the wound is still fresh. It's still a fresh wound. I wouldn't want nobody to say, yeah, well, this how this. No, I think he should just kept it to himself. That's what I think. I think he was wrong for saying something about it.
That's true. How you feel about the drugs that's going on with musicians, even violence on your favorite rapper and stuff like that? Um, let's start with the drugs then. Like, why do you think musicians, take the drugs in the first place? The fentanyl, the coke, the crack, why do you think they do that for?
I think it's one because of the music they listened to, which was influential.
Mm.
They listened to their rappers, their favorite rappers, talk about it. And then two, I think it's because the addiction started after they did it the first time.
Okay.
And it's really difficult to actually, it was always said crack is one hell of a drug. It was always it was always said, and it is. I don't know, it's another hell of a drug. I think it's all about, what you feed in your mind, what you hearing, because subconsciously, I think that they didn't really take in account how much of an effect it will really do. They might have just been trying to get somewhere, like, okay, well, this wave is moving. So, I'm going to hop on this wave. Nah, I ain't going to get addicted to it. Or maybe some of them don't even care if they did, but then when they saw the later effects of it, it was just like, damn, like I'm really out here going codeine crazy. Or I'm really out here sipping X. And you got people who died, ordinary people who are musicians. I think it really all stemmed from the people that they listen to it and the environment that they were around. Because when you look at how we grew up, you know, a lot of Black communities, I hope we don't get banned for this, but I'm gonna say it. I
Yeah.
think that well, I know how to word it. I think that those things are actually put into the African American community to harm us. But when it got back to the other communities, that's when I believe it became a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's this knowledge that I've obtained from my OGs and my grandmother. And you know, as I'm looking at it more and more, that's I really think that's how it started. Somewhere, somebody around you or somebody that you listen to really started. It's like that's the wave, man. I'm trying to blow up. I'm trying to get this money. That's what's working right now. I mean, when Jim Jones and them started wearing the tight jeans, the jean jackets, and tight jeans, we weren't wearing. We was about that time. We was wearing baggy 2-3X t-shirts, baggy
Mm-hmm.
pants. You tied a rubber band around one of the cuffs on your pants. You know, we was doing that, and it's just like it's just taught behavior. It's
Mm-hmm.
really taught, and you know, a kid will emulate whatever a parent, well, a kid will emulate what a parent or adult will do. At that time that we hearing about this stuff, we kids. But when we get older, it's just like, yeah, you know, like you make your bed, you gotta lay in it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it be too late. Shit, I already started sipping this act, man. Shit, I drink, and you wake up and you laughing at it, like, damn, you know, like we had a good time. You know, we had the females and the weed and all that, but slowly that's gonna become a monster. And you're gonna have to feed that monster. And what's
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen when you can't feed that monster? You gradually will up to other drugs. And that's how I think it all happens. That's what I think.
For me, I look at three people, and I'm even going to throw Nip in that situation. When you have a persona that you have to meet,
Yeah, yeah.
um, that's an addiction also.
Okay.
So I'm not saying DMX was fake. I'm not saying Juice WRLD was fake. I'm not even saying DMX was fake or anything like that. But they had to feed a persona, and it led to their demise. So with Juice WRLD, you know, he rapped about taking drugs, being on drugs, you know, things of that nature. His demise was, I don't want to go to jail because when this plane lands and they searched everything, you know, I'm going to jail. I can't go to jail. I'm 20 years
Yeah.
old.
Mm-hmm.
So when he gets there and he lands, he got to take all the pills and stuff. Friends taking it too, but he the main star. They're gonna take him down first. So, you know, he passes away. DMX, he had addiction since birth. He blamed it on he blamed it on
The
his
mentor.
friend,
The
his
mentor.
mentor,
Yeah, the
yeah, the
mentor.
mentor. And you know, the drugs, he was an up and down thing. He'll be clean for a minute, go to jail, be clean. It was a constant battle because he was facing this since childhood. His persona was, you know, I think childhood memories really messed him up, how his mother messed him up and things of that nature. And, you know, you got to find a way to cope.
Yeah.
And I think with him getting drugs was laced, obviously, because fentanyl is a dangerous drug. And the persona with that is that he didn't seek the proper help. Like for me, outside looking in, I don't know no personal stuff, but outside looking in, he had people around him, but he didn't believe that, you know, these people really loved him. I mean, he pretty sure. Honestly, I think they loved him. He knew he loved, but he didn't believe it was Warren. So
Mm.
the drugs was pretty much the way to cope. And I don't know if he believes that, musically people respected him. Like people will say it to him, I'm pretty sure, but nobody was showing him love. That's like
Yeah.
that same thing what Swiss was saying. Nobody really showed him love while he was alive.
Yeah.
Like
Give him his flowers when he was alive.
exactly. So that was a persona. Going to Nip, his persona was I'm at home, I'm chilling, one faithful Sunday morning, afternoon, midday type thing. I'm in front of the place that I help, what pretty much I build. Nobody's going to do nothing here. I'm at home, whether it's at my home of rest or my home of peace or my home where I grew up. This is my game. This is my neighborhood. Nobody's going to do nothing stupid. His persona was that. And that one faithful day, that somebody that got close enough to do what he had to do, did what they did. So, when it comes to either violence or drugs, I think those personas is just like it's terrible, actually. But I don't know. That's I don't know. I got really off topic, but the music.
I think no, you still talking about the top. I think you still talking about.
Yeah. So that's that with that. Another thing that been going on recently, we was talking about in our last podcast with there you go capping, but I'm gonna bring it to this podcast. Do you feel like athletes should be talking politics? Do you think that it is warranted for them to talk about it?
Like mandatory?
No, not mandatory, but do you think that they should talk about it?
If they want to. I don't really. I mean, my opinion is if they want to, they were that would really if they want to speak on. I love how LeBron does it, but that's not just because my favorite player. Because you have other players that speak on it. But I believe that a lot of people forget that they're also regular human beings. Just because they make all this money, they still have a political view. So I feel as though if they want to touch base on it, then they can. If they don't want to, then I think that should be fine. So I don't think they should get bashed for, either one. How about you?
The answer I gave on there you go, Cap, and I said I'd rather have the main stars of every sport say something, but I also know that you got certain people that got that fuck you money on the side just in case shit fuck up. LeBron has that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that earlier, but when you got that I don't like fuck you money, you can talk to Donald Trump spicy. You can talk about political problems. But when I said the 13th player on the bench shouldn't say nothing, the reason why I say that because as I think about it now, because they said Jared Dudley, and Jared Dudley can speak on certain issues. He can't speak on every situation, every issue.
Yeah.
But
okay.
they can really get, put out the lead. They can't say everything they want to say because if they say about just like the China situation and the NBA and China go hand in hand,
I remember
they
that.
got a great connection. And it wasn't a player that said that. It was a GM. So at the end of the day, Adam Silver has to remend that shit. Now, when they ask LeBron, hey, how you feel about this situation? He ain't gonna say shit because guess who makes his shoes? People from China. Who buys his shoe the most? And it ain't us. It's people from China.
That's
so
facts.
And then Nike, I don't know how many sweatshops they got over there. So it's just like, come on, I ain't gonna speak on that. So if I'm an athlete, I I would like my athletes to talk about shit that's going on here in the United States, not what's going on thousands of miles overseas. I want you to talk about what's going on here. We got issues going on here. So in that case, I would rather them talk about politics concerning us, not
Okay.
what's going on over there. Because
Okay.
me being selfish, I don't honestly, as being American too, I don't care what's going on over there. I got shit going on every day at work and every
Yeah.
day living outside, walking down. And it's just like when you go at a job, you got one person that's going to say whatever's on their mind to the boss, and you're going to have one that's just going to say, I'm just here to get my check. I don't want no problems, this and that. Just like when the NFL players come around, you might have a selective few that might say something to JJ Watts and all them people. And you got a couple people that's like Brett Favre. You got a couple people, you got a couple little pumps going on around where they just gonna, go around and be different and not realize what they're saying. So in every sport, I think more people need to speak up, but only to their situation if they've been through it. If they haven't been through it, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
If you never lived in the hood or you never felt police brutality, don't say shit. Just support and keep it moving. And people think that you supporting is you speaking up on it. No, you just say, I'm on their side. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just here to support. Don't sit there and say, man, we got to stop this and this and that. No, come with a solution. Say, yeah, police brutality, we got to step this up. We got to stop doing chokeholds and this and that. We need this on the gun. We need better body cams or whatever the case may be. So it is with that. This is another situation. I'm pretty sure this is kind of crazy. How you feel about people running for president? We had The Rock recently for a popularity vote. I forgot
you
that.
let me say his name.
I'm going to say his name. I don't know if it's a he or she, but you got The Rock with the popularity percentage. I forgot the popularity percent. I think it was 86%, whatever the case may be. It was high. Then you got Bruce Jenner's or Caitlyn Jenner's, if you want to say they're running for president or governor. I forgot which one he's. I don't know the right word to say, so I just want to say Caitlyn Jenner running for something. Do you think it's going to be a recurring theme, or we're not going to see no more politicians in the White House after this?
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. Because I think it's just like I don't know how much is gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen like here and there, bro. Because then it's just like they're running, and they might have some strong social beliefs, though. Like really, but to me, it really be all about popularity. Like shit,
Yep.
they said I got 90% chance, but it's just like yeah, but these ain't really like the people is really putting this work and to get you to this place. Oh yeah, I think it'll happen. I don't think it'll be a consistent thing though. Like they'll be looking at them, it's just like, yeah, we see you. Just bye. Just brush it off their shoulders. We see you. Good luck on the campaign. All right, Dwayne. Just keep moving. That's how I think it'll happen. This is funny.
It is funny, and I think it became a joke when Trump did it, but
he didn't think he was gonna win though.
I think he did. I think he did know he was going to win, but he had to create so much buzz that it got so annoying, and he starts speaking. When you start speaking the language of racism, especially after you just had a black president, and all these white people is like, oh, you fucking nigger. I hate these niggers. Oh my God. And then you got one person that's just don't give a damn and just talking his shit. After a while, people are just gonna be like, Yeah, you know what? I like what he's talking about.
But
Yeah.
he was a Democrat at one point, though.
Yes, he was when the hair was very stiff. Pause. And that was that was before the apprenticeship and the apprentice. I'm
Oh
sorry,
man.
and all that. That's when he was, he was doing interviews and he said, "I'm a Democrat, this and that." But then when he started getting richer, he started realizing I got to become a Republican because a lot of people that are rich, they like the Republican way. Tax the middle class, tax the lower class, and it's just like we get a tax loop or we keep our money. All I gotta do is put this towards charity and I'm good. Say no more. Democrats, let's tax the rich, let's tax the higher middle class. Middle class, you're gonna get your money. Lower class, you're gonna get all the money. It's gonna trickle down. It's not gonna trickle up. So that's what I think when it comes to him. That's why he switched. But
Mm.
if Caitlyn Jenner gets in there and remind you, I don't know if he cut his dick off. So yeah, I'm really gonna get banned for this shit. But
I wouldn't have said that.
I know. I don't know.
It's
It's already said
hilarious
already.
though. You're saying. Now, mind you, I don't know if he got it. You should
Yeah.
have kept that to yourself.
Yeah. I already said it already. So fuck it.
It's fucking, man. It's there.
Yeah.
It's up. It's up.
Because I'm pretty sure the transgender community will look at him sideways. They love to support, but in my eyes, I look at him as just a cross dresser because you didn't go fully onto it
Yeah.
and do it. Now, everybody can identify themselves as whatever they want to identify themselves as. Um, I forgot the lady name. She identified as being what, black or white, I think she was. I forgot her name. But yeah, like that's cool. Whatever. But last time I checked, everybody has either 20/20 vision or they got my eyesight or your eyesight. When we know, like, motherfucker, like, what we gonna call you when it's time to say, now introducing our 47th or 48th president of the world, Mr. Mrs. I don't know, president of the world.
It's a shum.
There you go.
It's a
There
shum,
you go.
yo. That's what
So,
it is.
and that's what I'm saying. We all got to get educated on that, and that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
We know they got that. I can't. Which state was it? Because I think it was along with other 20 states. Was that Missouri? That I had sent you that post, and they was talking about you can have the X on your ID card now. You really don't have to identify. That shit's gonna be crazy. Gotta look into that. That is gonna be crazy, yo. Because I'm just waiting for that to happen, and then it be unfortunately something like a great ordeal that happens behind it. And it's just like, well, you're literally gonna say you chose to not self-identify the
Yeah.
suspect. Like it's just it's wild. It's just like I think everybody who gets into the Congress, all this political, everybody just wants to make their mark. Like these motherfuckers are actually changing days that holidays are on. Like, yo, this has been around all these years. BC, before Christ. And you want to just make your mark. Like, yeah, yeah, I did that right there. That's all.
I mean, if you look at it that way, you have to look at it from a sports aspect. If I'm getting paid all this money, I have to
Yeah.
show what I have done. So you can't be a coach, like you can't be a Greg Popovich and be coaching on the same team forever and not produce rings and championships because people are gonna start questioning why the fuck is he the coach still? Because he's a great coach. Well, yeah, but what has he produced?
Yeah.
Now you might have some people that say, I'm going to still give them the money, I'm going to still keep them there and all that stuff. But once people start opening their eyes after this pandemic happened, they start looking into Congress and saying, what is this person doing? Why is this person still in office? Why is they've been here how many years? 60. See, that's why they got all these races. Okay. Because remember, people overlook Joe Biden past fuck ups of him saying the predator stuff and all that stuff because people
They
start
just wanted
saying
Trump out.
they just wanted Trump out. Exactly. You didn't care what he was bringing, all that stuff. Trust me, I appreciate the stimulus checks, but guess what? That's still my fucking money.
Pretty much.
Unemployment is still my fucking money. So you didn't give me shit. Just like I just got a letter in the mail saying, uh, from dearest whatever my name is, this is Joe Biden. I thought I was going to get invited to the White House. I was like, okay, let me read this. I have delivered on my stimulus check, blah, 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 giving you blah, blah, blah money. And I'm looking at it like, the fuck you send me this shit for? Pretty much saying, I told you so. I did better.
Right.
See, all that shit. Trump didn't send me shit. And all thing Trump did for me was give me laughs. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I was laughing at because I'm already going to get banned for the cut dick shot. So,
Hopefully
so
not, though.
hopefully I don't. I'm joking around. But
yeah, I know. But it's just hopefully not. Because,
yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know with that, but it's that. It's that. I just started thinking about the GameStop situation where the man was saying, it's ma'am. Okay, sir. No, it's ma'am. So just imagine that you had a press conference and somebody said, excuse me, sir. No, it's ma'am. It's Caitlin. Oh, sorry, Caitlin. And then somebody might say, hey, Bruce, how did it feel? No, it's Caitlin. Who's Bruce? And it's really like, it's crazy.
Yeah. You had to go to the side. Who the fuck is this person? Who the fuck is this guy?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am. I just said sir, so you guys can break it up. And no, it's ma'am. So I wish I had the video right now. I wish I had the video.
Oh my God, it's just funny, yo. This is funny, yo.
Going with the last topic I have on my list. Elon Musk. Recently he just put out this today. Like I said today, we say today. People will die traveling to Mars. Now, remind you, this guy just made a tunnel in Vegas, my favorite place to go at, for Teslas. I personally can't afford a Tesla. I don't plan on buying a Tesla, whatever the case may be. But this man is got his hand in every goddamn thing.
Oh yeah.
So he got SpaceX going on, and people want to travel to Mars. I think the price was ridiculous, like in a mil, like a couple thousand, close to a mil, whatever. And I know I'm interested in seeing what's on Mars. I don't know why Mars is so important to go to. I know it's Earth-like and stuff like that, because you definitely can't go to Saturn, can't go to Jupiter. Damn sure can't go to Pluto. I think Pluto is not even a planet anymore, whatever the case may be.
That's the furthest one, right?
Yeah, that's the furthest one.
Furthest one?
Yeah, but it's up there. So my question to you is, do you think we should go to Mars, or how you feel about him saying all these things now?
Money made the world go around. Some people gonna be interested in it. Me personally, I'm not really interested in going, but it would be a hell of an experience. I just don't know, besides wanting to know if there's life there, I don't understand what else, we're getting on a rocket for. And going up there, I don't really see, because I think that people know if it's shit up there or not already. I just think it's like, well, okay, well, we've had this percentage of amount of people and they were this ethnicity. Let's just throw this out there to the media. Somebody will click on it and, sign up and, take the trial. Me, it's a no for me. I ain't interested in it. But, with all due, if somebody wants to go, I just hope they make it back in one piece with no abnormalities and nothing. Because you don't know what you running into when you go out there. Like, you just don't know. You just don't know. But I think it's a money aspect, though. I think it's just, you said he had his hand in a lot of pots.
A lot. And I
So,
don't think, and I know he wakes up and he wants to do everything, and I respect it and everything. But dog, like how like you doing all these things, it's like it got me wondering, like why do you want to go there? Like, is the government paying you, first of all?
yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to find out how many. Okay,
He
25
figure out if
hours.
he going.
Yeah, but
if he
I'm
giving
trying
a tour of this shit.
pretty much, and I think since we're doing so much damage to Earth, and just recently I seen that our axis in as far as Earth is concerned, because I'm a nerd for this stuff, it's shifted. So now our days are longer and it feels longer, just like some days
Are
you
you
might
talking about the
sit.
daylight saving time? It's almost
No,
along those lines?
no, it's along those lines, but now since the axis of Earth, because you got north and south, and for people that don't believe what I'm saying, just check it out. Like when that stuff starts to happen, it's just like we already 85% of water on it on Earth. So it's just like, okay, just think about it. If the axis is shifting, so we might get a hot winter. It's snowing in fucking Indiana right now, and we're in spring. So we don't know how that shift is going, because can you imagine it's snowing in Los Angeles? Like that would be crazy. So we don't know if it's going this way or that way. I don't know. But getting back to him, I think it's cool, but it's also scary on how they're coming along thinking these things. And what people don't understand, that being an astronaut, it takes a toll on your body. You can go out there, you can go out to space, and you can age tremendously out of space, come back here, and it might be 5 years. I think it's some of that math. Like if you go out to space and you spend a month up there, by the time you get back down here, it's been 2 years or a year or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I see what they have to go through, and I see why they get paid so much. Because when you go up there, it's like it takes a toll on your body. You have to work out every day because your body's gonna go through some changes. Your skin gonna start peeling off, all types of shit. And
the new eczema.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I got that shit all over.
The new
But
eczema.
just imagine the waivers that people have to sign because people want to go to fucking Mars. Granted, if these white people, I don't think no black person gonna try to do this. Just FaceTime it. That's all I need to do. I will pay for the FaceTime. Just FaceTime your whole trip. Just have it on the window like this, and don't move it. And I'll be good with that. Now, the people that's going out there, can you imagine you going on a flight to Mars and half the crew that you came with are dying because they shitting on themselves profusely, and it's piss in the air floating and shit, and like that, and then you get over there to Mars you can't call nobody like, yo, Mars is crazy. You can't do that.
Right.
So
That's the
you,
number one thing I'm thinking about. Like, something go wrong.
yeah. You go, what you gonna call NASA? Like NASA is fucked up out here. I need you to take me back.
Right.
NASA like, well, recovery, you're gonna have to be there for a couple more months. We can't send nobody out here for it's like asking for a tow
the
truck.
Rocket Tower 3000, like
Yeah,
shit like that, yo.
yeah, yo, I'm stranded out here. It's nobody here. Well, Nick, you should have thought about that before you went out there. We'll be there in about a couple months. By the time you come back here, you 90 years old. You sitting there like, oh, it was the best experience ever. And your grandkids is just be like, Daddy tripping. What the fuck he talking about? Fuck it. I ain't got time for this shit. And you sitting there, you don't know. But anyway, you know, that's my mind going crazy on that. Wrapping up, you know, tell everybody how they can connect with you and stuff like that, and etc.
Well,
Once again,
my IG again, 2_, phuccancer 2 times. That's phuccancer 2 times. And then I made a mistake earlier. My Facebook is Laid Back Dre. Laid LAIDBACK all spaces. That's how you can get at me if you need to.
okay. And that is a wrap up on podcast number 91. Dennis
Thanks
Ramen
for having me,
numbers,
Sammy. What?
of course, as always. Check out this podcast, this one that you see right here on YouTube at Sammy Loco. Click the playlist that has the Sammy Loco podcast. Also check out There You Go Capping podcast, which is a sports cast with me, Shamar, Yubi, and Cedric. Check that out. This podcast also is an audio with SoundCloud. So check it out on SoundCloud, type in Sammy Loco podcast or the Sammy Loco podcast. I don't know which one it is, but check it out, share it, link up, all that. Also check out podcast 90 with Muda Cooling Loop Muda. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Muda Cooler. Yeah,
Muda Cooling. Sorry.
Yeah.
A Baltimore artist. Check him out. Also check out Clyde North. If I said his name right, I'm fucking up tonight. Check those out. Greatly appreciate everybody that's been on the podcast. If you would like to be on the podcast, also hit me up on IG, Sammy Loco 22, also on Twitter, Sammy I am 22, and we can get things going. As that is proceeded, the show is over. Thank y'all for listening.